What is up? What's cracking? What it do? What it is? What's up, everybody? This is episode 6 of Hear Me Out. So today's episode is going to be pretty special. I'm going to have my first real guest on the show today. I'm going to have my boy Devin Divoky on the show today. We're going to talk about DK, Metcalf, and Justin Jefferson claiming that they are the top 5 receivers, and who are our top 5 receivers. Now, as you can see from the picture, this is my top 5, but in what order, I can't really tell you. But we're going to get Devin on the line right now. We're going to get Devin on here real quick, so let's see where he is, and let's do some catching up with him. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, man.
Awesome.
Alright, man. How's everything going, man? How's the carcass holding up?
Doing good. Everything's going good.
That's good, man. That's good. Your body holding up?
Barely sometimes.
I think we all said the same thing. You gonna be ready for this season?
I'm not playing this year.
Oh, you're taking a year off?
Yeah, I kind of just got bored of semi-pro and just the politics and yeah.
I can understand that, man. Are you gonna just like work out and just get ready for the next season, or are you like, what's your move overall? Are you gonna just
Actually, I'm doing bodybuilding.
Oh my god.
I got the size for it, so.
Of course you do. You built like Brock Lesnar. All fucking upper body. Shit.
I got legs, Jimmy. I do squats. Don't disrespect me like that.
He still got legs and squats. When do they really work on their legs and squats, Devin? Never.
I do squats. My squats.
What are you pushing right now?
450 for about 3.
Oh, well, good to excuse the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
You better off playing offensive line than you were playing defensive end.
No. You're not doing offensive line.
What? You want to be in the trenches like that?
I am already in the trenches like that. What you mean?
I mean, I guess. I mean, if you on the outside, if you in the 9 tech, then I guess. But I want to see you in the 3. I want to see you in a 3 tech, man. I want to see you get in there.
I'm too lazy to do that. I'm an active but lazy defensive end. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get that as soon as you pass this, running back pass me, boom. Like, bro, that's the linebackers. That's the linebackers.
Oh,
safeties and corners. I mean, I'll jog behind you in case you need a cutback, but if you're already 10 yards down the field, bro, I'm not gonna Miles Garrett you, okay? Because I'm not Miles Garrett.
I mean, you and Miles pretty much have the same size. I'm not even surprised, but hey.
What are you talking about? 10 pounds.
10. What are you at right now?
280.
What are you trying to get to?
I think my coach wants me to get to about 300 and then start doing a bunch of cardio.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's what you call a super heavyweight in the lifting world.
Oh, you're a super heavyweight. Of course you're super heavyweight. Shit, you about 6'3", 6'4".
Exactly.
So you're going to be competing with the Kai Greens and all those guys. Oh, my.
Yeah.
What they got you eating, man? Are you just cramming your face with a bunch of carbs, or are you doing the rocks workout, eating 7 meals a fucking day?
I'm eating about 5 meals a day, about 4,500 calories. About 8 ounces of chicken for 2 of my meals, 8 ounces of ground beef, 4 cups of rice, at night 7 whole eggs, 2 cups of eggs whites, about 12 ounces of fruit.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Are you weighing it all, or are you doing the caloric intake, or what are you doing?
I don't even know. He just sends me, he's like, hey, here's what you're doing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, shoot. Well, I'm glad.
All right, so let's get into this.
Well, I'm glad everything's going good, man. But listen, let's get into it, man. We had a really good discussion last night. Tell me, what was it about what DK and Justin said that kind of threw you off a little bit?
Okay, first of all, what DK and Justin Jefferson, both, like, I'll both admit, they had fantastic years. I'm not going to take that away from them. Let me just pull up their stats real quick.
Oh, I already got what's his name? Justin Jefferson's.
Jefferson. Like, they both, like, Justin Jefferson just had an amazing rookie year, and I would have to say that he's in that discussion for, hey, rookie of the year, but, you know, Justin Herbert might get it because he's a quarterback, and it's a quarterback-driven league.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Josh Jacobs should have won Rookie of the Year, but, you know, Kyle Murray got it.
Of course.
So it's a quarterback-driven league, so I expect Justin Jefferson to get it. I mean, it's okay. So DK had, 83 receptions for 1,300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad for his second year. But the fact that he put himself over players like DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs and A.J. Brown, it's like, come on, bro. Like, you're good, but you have Julio Jones at number one, and Julio Jones only played 9 games and only had 700 yards. Barely just hopped over the 700-yard mark.
Barely.
So I don't think, barely hopped over it. So I don't think Julio, in essence, is going to be in that top 10, top 5 this year because he's on the decline. He's been in the league for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
But you have D-Hop, who had 14, who just stumbled over the 1,400-yard mark and had 115 receptions. Devontae Adams, who just, 18 touchdowns in the regular season alone?
18 touches. He had 18. So here's where I gotta agree with you on the DK part, because DK, again, 82 catches, but Justin Jefferson had 88 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 7 touchdowns. For a rookie, that's amazing. But for a second-year player to not crack 90 to almost 100 catches, there's a problem.
And the Seattle offense was, I'm not gonna lie, it was perfect that he landed there for the Seahawks, that he fell that far and fell to the Seahawks because of, their stretch offense, and, they want to stretch the field on third down, even though that's the most predictable last thing to do. If I'm at 3rd and 10, of course I'm going to look deep for DK because he's already possibly burning the secondary. But, with all Seahawks offensive line is working.
See, that's the thing. See, that's the thing that blows my mind about that offense and pisses me off, is we're so one-dimensional that we're successful, but we're so one-dimensional that we're predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch the Seahawks play, man, you know what's going to happen on 2nd and 3rd down. We're either going to go, I mentioned to you yesterday, they're going to go bunch right or they're going to go bunch left. DK's going to go run a go. He's going to run a go. Tyler's going to do a crossing route across the middle, and hopefully Tyler can clear it out just enough to where he can drag the safety with him, and boom, DK's wide open. Like,
yes, exactly.
Like, come on. Like, we know, they know what you're going to do, and that's why I couldn't stand having Brian Schottenheimer, because he's been doing the same thing since he had Mark Sanchez.
Hey, he got Mark Sanchez's good years, okay? I don't want to hear it.
His first 2 years, excuse me.
My bad.
So, who's your top 5 then?
So, my top 5, as I said last night, would have to be, I'm going to put D-Hop at number 1, Diggs at number 2, because Stephon Diggs honestly just killed it for how he was this year. He had Stephon Diggs. He had 127 receptions, 35 receptions, 8 touchdowns. Not bad for a receiver coming into a new offense that has, I would say, a quarterback that's as close to Patrick Mahomes as you can get.
They just got to calm him down. He doesn't have. If you remember AFC Championship, he was running for his life. He's not. He wants to make plays on the run. He doesn't have to. Stay in the pocket. You've got time. Trust your line.
So I would have to go D-Hop number 1, because DeAndre Hopkins just, some of the catches he made this year, more in particular against the Buffalo Bills.
Ironically.
I can't forget that. Like, that catch just alone, I posted on Facebook. That made him like there should be no clear argument about who the number one receiver is this year. Then I have Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, honestly, 115 receptions, 1,300 yards, 18 touchdowns. Like, no other receiver had that many touchdowns. Or DK, he had more TDs this year than DK has his whole career, his first two years.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone is like, he's Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. He's basically, him and Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones are the offense.
Yes,
and
I was just about to say
so
that.
You have to pick between the two. So I'm gonna go with him number 2 because of the jump that he made this year from previous years. Because he only has seasons. He only has 2 1,000-yard receiving years,
mm-hmm.
and that was 2018 and 2020, the only years that he broke 1,000 yards. And he also had a 77% catching percent, which is above average, I would say. Because I'd say for receivers, you need to catch over 70% of your balls.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how a quarterback needs to throw over 60% of their complete over 60% of their passes. Because people say, 50 is the medium. No, like, you're below average if you're at 50.
Well, you have to also look at it like from this perspective. The next closest person is Stephon Diggs at 76 and a half. And Devontae Adams has come such a long way from when he first got to the league to now. You could make the argument he is the best receiver in the league.
D-Hop?
No, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, yes. Well, compared to last year, I wouldn't even have him in my top. I wouldn't have him in my top 5. The way that Mike Evans balled out towards the end of the season, Tyreek Hill's doing the same, Michael Thomas, D-Hop, Julio. So last year, Devontae Adams wasn't even a top 10 receiver. Wasn't even a top 5 receiver.
Not at all. Not at all.
But now, since Julio Jones only played 9 games, Michael Thomas was going through an emotional roller coaster and the injuries, and then Mike Evans kind of just fell off because Tom Brady likes to distribute the ball more than Jameis Winston.
And he wasn't used to that. He wasn't used to a quarterback that's going to get the ball to AB, to Scotty Miller, and to Connor Brad and all them. So it's surprising that Mike Evans didn't. Him and Keenan Allen, I'm surprised, did not have better years.
Nah, I'm surprised they didn't.
I was expecting Keenan Allen to take that next step and be in my top 5. But when they started out with Tyrod Taylor, he struggled. I knew he was going to struggle. But who else do you have in your top 5?
Let's see. Next, I got Stephon Diggs. We've already gone over it, how the year that he had, 127 receptions, 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns. And if you want to get fantasy-wise, he had 201 points. But I passed on him because I wasn't sure what he was going to do. Anyway, but
I bet you regret that.
I do. The things that he did this year to help Josh Allen, because last year they only had John Brown and Cole Beasley. Honestly, that's not the scariest thing. I think the Bills, to make that next step, they need to get better run game. I think they might let go of Devin Singletary and go with Zach Moss, because Zach Moss proved a little bit last year that, hey, I'm ready for that next step to be that guy. Whereas Devin Singletary was, for some games, not even in the backfield for the Bills. I think the Bills need to establish a better run game, because of certain games this year, they looked one-dimensional with just passing.
Right.
Next I have Tyreek Hill. I mean, what else do you have to say about Tyreek? Just that guy. He burned Brent Murphy for 200 yards in the first quarter, bro.
Okay, but then the next week he had only 75 yards.
And I'm just saying, let's bring up his stats real quick. Oh, that's advanced. I'm not really trying to look at that.
Oh, I got the stats right here, boy. 1,200 yards, 64% catch percentage. He had 87 yards. 87 catches. How many touchdowns?
15.
Oh my God! He's my honorable mention. That's my issue.
I know. After doing some of this research, I'm not sure if. Justin Jefferson had a great year, but I really can't think of, because there's some times where when the Vikings would play a team with a winning record, like say for the Bears, for instance, and then Justin Jefferson would go only for 50 yards. There was games. Let's see. There was just some games where he would be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go off for like 100 some odd plus yards." Like the first 2 games of the year, the man only had a combined about 70 yards, 5 receptions, and then weeks 3, 4, he had over 200 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Week 5, 23. He went a lot of games against teams like Carolina. Week 12, 7 receptions, 70 yards, but 2 tubs. So he goes, and Carolina was a bottom 10 defense this year.
Right.
Bottom 10 defensively in almost every aspect, in a lot of aspects. And then it's just like, bro, you got, like, again, you're a rookie, but if you're going to go for a lot of 100 yards, like, I want to, like, make sure that you have more games where you're playing against a team with a bad odd defense, you're going off, versus a team against Chicago where you go off a couple weeks later where you're going off for 104 yards.
See, when I think about time, yeah.
1 second. Yeah. 15 touchdowns, that alone should put you
second
in the top 5 list. That alone. 73%. No, that's not it. The only thing I was really concerned about, that honestly, look over the years, when you had Alex Smith as a QB, over 70% catch rating. Since Patrick Mahomes took over the offense, in what, 2018?
Mm-hmm.
63 and a half, 65.2, and 64.4. So it's gone down in terms of his catching since.
Right, but you got to look at who but you got to also look at who he's not. Tyreek Hill is not the focal point. If he was playing with Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he'd be the focal point. But we look who he's distributing to the ball. So you got to think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's Le'Veon Bell, Travis Kelce, Nicole Hardman, Sammy Watkins. That's 5 different people he's got to get the ball to. Tyreek is.
Let's take Le'Veon Bell out of the equation, because that man literally didn't do anything this year. He's only there to win a ring. He only picked Kansas City to win a ring. Let's just take Le'Veon Bell.
But still, even. I know. But it's still Le'Veon. You know they're gonna have something special for Le'Veon in the Super Bowl.
They better.
That he's a matchup nightmare. If he's healthy.
On the Steelers, I say that he was more of a nightmare than Le'Veon Bell. Jets Le'Veon Bell.
Jets Le'Veon Bell was a broken man. But to go up against Tampa Bay, you know Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy's got something there. So you have to account for every single weapon they have on the field. But when you talk about Tyreek Hill, they're bringing up Hardman. They're making him the next heir apparent.
But the thing is, I'm saying, bringing up his catch percentage. It's gone down through the years. So, like, you have...
Well, look at the routes they got him running. He's either running crosses, goes. He's ran more goes than Randy Moss. And Randy ran a lot.
That fast, wouldn't you have that? If man runs a 4.2, I think 4.
Yeah, but just because you got speed doesn't mean you can catch the ball.
That's true. That has been the big thing for speed receivers.
He's not. Right. He's a makeshift. He's a returner. He's like what they tried to make Devin Hester. Remember when Devin Hester was trying to make a receiver? Yeah. Like, come on. Like, Tyreek is a little better than Devin Hester.
Well, let's also not forget that Devin Hester played cornerback in college and high school.
Yeah.
And Tyreek Hill's been a receiver his entire career, so.
Yeah. I'll give that to you, but when you think about it, I have Tyreek as my honorable mention just based off of the 15 touchdowns. You got every touchdown is a different touchdown, right? Every touchdown's different.
Yep.
How did he get those touchdowns is what I look at. Was it the 200-yard game? Probably. But I wasn't impressed by that, honestly.
Actually, in games where he had 3 games over with two or more touchdowns. How does that shit add up to 15 then? Because he only went during the regular season 3 games without a touchdown. In games where he had against the Jets, he had 2 touchdowns for under 100 yards. Then next week against Carolina, bottom 10 defense, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then against the Bucks, that damn near 269-yard game, had 3 touchdowns. So those are the 3 games where he, against bottom defenses and then 1 top defense, he scored 2 or more touchdowns. All the rest of the games he had at least 1 touchdown.
So you're saying he did that? He did a lot of his damage against bottom 10 defenses.
Well, when you play the first week, Texans.
Oh my
touchdown,
God.
46 yards. Chargers, touchdown, 99 yards. Baltimore, 77 yards for a touchdown. New England, who tries their absolute best to take you out of their best player out of the equation. But when you have Hardman, Travis Kelce, Clyde Ellis-Hilaire, and Hill, which one are you going to shut down? You got to shut down at least all 3. But that game, that's the game. He had a touchdown. They went 2 weeks without a touchdown, and only had after those first 4 games with a touchdown. He only had 3 receptions. They combined 6 receptions for 98 yards.
But see, it took him till week 9 just to get to crack 9 receptions. Then he had 11, and then he had 13, and then it was like a decline: 6, 3, 6, 4, 8, 9. Like, that's the inconsistency that my issue with having him in the top 5 is how consistent can Tyreek Hill be? If he's that guy and you're a top 5 receiver, you're going to demand the ball at least 10 to 15 times a game, but you better get at least 5 to 10 catches.
I think today's game, it's going to be, I feel like with the way that defenses are played, especially against certain conferences and divisions, like this is going to be my hot take of the day, but the AFC East, which is arguably the weakest division in the AFC East, my bad, is the weakest division in the AFC. They have the best cornerbacks. And you can't tell me, because you got to go against Patriots. You got Stephon Diggs and J.C. Jackson.
Oh, I love him.
Miami, you got Byron Jones and Xavier Howard.
Ooh.
Then you got to go to Buffalo and you got to face Tre'Davious White. What team am I missing? The Jets were kind of just an anomaly, but at one point they had Darrelle Revis. Let's just put it at that. So the AFC East has been like the best team, the best division for cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm. Because you knew you were going to go up against the best of the best, and that was Brady.
Yep. But now I feel like this would be a big shift, and the Bills or the Dolphins will just take over.
And even then, if the Patriots take the Patriots out of the equation for a second, you have the best young quarterbacks in the entire league right now in the AFC East. Josh Allen, you're going to get Tua's going to get better. Sam Darnold is underrated to me. He's not trash.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not really sold on Tua.
Tua gets injured. That's my issue.
Not just that. It's that they to take what really I was sold on him like his first few games. I was like, okay, first game against the Rams, you got to go up against Aaron Donald, and he didn't do that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, the defense was great. It was a top 10 defense this year, but if he did all right, I just when they pulled him for Ryan Fitzmagic and said, and Brian and their coach said, we needed a spark. That's when I'm like, okay, you're not even sold on him. And now his name is floating around for trade rumors.
To get Deshaun Watson.
Listen, his last game against the Bills, 60% completion, 361 yards, a touchdown, 62% rating, 62.5 rating, but 3 interceptions. Granted, yeah, you wowed out in yards and touchdowns, and not really touchdowns, and completion percentage was average, but you threw 3 interceptions against a great defense, but you got taken out against probably one of the best games this year against the Raiders and Dolphins. It was a great game, especially coming down to the wire. You got taken out because I'm not sure if it was for injury or what, or they needed a spark, but you can't be taken. If you draft a guy at number, what, 4?
5, I think, 4 or 5.
4 or 5. 3, 4 or 5. I'm not going to throw in a quarterback that's been tossed around more than Abella Danger has.
Okay.
To provide a spark.
See.
Because that's my spark right there. That's my franchise QB. I want to see how he handles situations. Okay, they take the lead. Oh, now we take the lead. You take the lead. Versus all this adversity, I'm going to bench you for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. If I was a coach, I'm like, I want to see how my quote-unquote franchise quarterback, my future franchise quarterback does.
I kind of agree with you, but if you look at the track record of teams that have pulled their starting rookie quarterback out, that quarterback's going on to have greater success. Hell, look at the greatest quarterback of all time. He got pulled out in the Super Bowl run for Drew Bledsoe.
Actually, that happened Drew Bledsoe got pulled week 2.
No. AFC Championship. Go look it up. Tom Brady was playing like trash, and they pulled him.
What year is this?
2000, the first Super Bowl. 2001. Brady played like hot garbage. And even with Tua, the one thing I love about Tua, at least Tua is going to get completions. Yes, Tua needs to do better. He didn't do too bad. He hasn't thrown that many interceptions. He's only thrown, 5 interceptions. I can live with that. I can live with Tua because I'm not expecting him to have a huge arm. I'm not expecting Tua to make all the plays, but I am expecting Tua to make the correct plays. That's how he played at Bama for us. I've seen Tua play a lot of games where he is going to make the right play, not the miraculous, oh my God, he did the Russell Wilson shit.
No, I'm looking at the stats. Honestly, did Brady come in for Bledsoe? Because Brady kind of did better than Drew Bledsoe in terms of stats. He had 10 for 18, 115 yards. Took 2 sacks, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 82% of completion rating.
It was those sacks that he ate. He ate two very important sacks, and Bledsoe came in and read him. Because this is when Tom Brady was just patting the ball way too much. He was waiting too long. That's when Tom got. Now, yes, Tom did win them the Super Bowl and did it to his foot. But I look at that same situation as Tua. Yes, you have Fitzpatrick as a backup just in case, because you guys think longevity. Tua is going to be the face of the franchise for a long time, barring injury.
And that's one thing that you kind of struggled with at Alabama. Granted, that last injury you took was a freak injury. That was a freak injury, and you can't do nothing about that.
Right.
There's some injuries that, as an athlete, you don't prepare for. Like, oh, okay, my dislocated hip. You don't plan for that.
No, you don't.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to dislocate my hip today just because. No, that was a freak accident.
No.
There's just some things you can't train for or anything. It just happens.
See.
So the one thing he has to do is stay healthy.
Right. So here's my top 5 receivers. I agree.
Your top 5.
All right. Number 1, I got Devontae Adams. I can't. Statistically, context is king. Yes, Stephon Diggs does beat him out in yards and receptions and but not touchdowns. And at the end of the day, we're looking to score touchdowns. He 77.2% catch percentage. He also has 11.9 yards receiving, and he has 71 first downs. The man just knows how to make plays. Stephon Diggs, number 2. DeAndre Hopkins, 3. Justin Jefferson, number 4. And the 5th one is my hot take. I'm going to go with Travis Kelce. I have to go with Travis Kelce. I don't really care for Travis Kelce, but when you look at the fine print, he's not just a tight end. He is a receiver. He lines up in the slot more than he lines up on the line. Hold on. Drop the call. You there?
Sorry, I got disconnected.
No, you're good. I was saying that I'm going to go with number 5 is Travis Kelce, just because I know he's a tight end. I understand tight ends are hard to grade as far as, like, are they receivers or are they tight end? Or are they just strictly a tight end on the line, blocking and all that shit? But Travis Kelce's lined up in the slot. I'm going to give him the ball. Look how big this dude is. Look at the plays he makes. 105 receptions, 1,416 yards, and 11 touchdowns. I think he is the focal point of their offense over Tyreek. That's why I have to give him number 5.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, I have him in my honorable mention just because that he's listed as a tight end. But, yeah, I mean, you're 6'5", 260 pounds, give or take.
Yeah.
And you outdid some big names like Devontae Adams, Tyreek, Allen Robinson, D-Hop, and also another tight end that could be put into that is Darren Waller.
Yes.
Look at the year he had. Almost 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Technically in the, I believe, top 10 for receiving.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, and also a surprise person that wilded out that you just don't hear about really, that, you know, since the team is so onto one person, is that name is it's really just like kind of like forgotten, is Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley had a good year.
Yeah, he had to make up for Julio being gone, and he balled.
Exactly.
But you know what? Even one other person, and I said this when you stepped away here on camera. I said the one person that people forget about is Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett had a career year this year.
Go ahead.
Tyler Lockett made plays that were crucial. Without Tyler, I don't think we would have been as successful on offense as we were this year. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, he had a really good year. 100 catches, 1,000 yards, a little over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. But I think the majority of all that came in, as we were talking last night, through that 6 to 8 week frame.
Yeah.
The Seahawks and Russell Wilson looks like an MVP. Like, hey, this is my year to grab it. Tyler Lockett's getting 4 touchdowns. DK, you're getting a touchdown, or vice versa. And so it's really hard to judge, like, you know.
But you can say the same thing about Terry McLaurin as well, too.
Terry McLaurin is the only thing that offense has to look forward to, other than Antonio Gibson. That's the only thing they have to look forward to.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, him and Justin Jefferson together have carried that receiving class. And I think Terry McLaurin is going to be a phenomenal receiver down the line if he gets out of Washington.
I don't know. I mean, if he stays in it, like, if they, let's say Washington, they're at what, 12th pick, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll get to the draft later. Actually, no. Washington won their division. Remember, they're deep in it. They're deep in the draft this year.
They got to be at least in the late 20s.
They're 19th.
Jesus Christ.
So if I'm Washington,
I'm getting a running back.
You got a good running back in
No.
like Antonio Gibson.
Oh yeah, they got Gibson.
But if I'm Washington, Miami, because number one pick is already locked in Trevor Lawrence. Number two is up in the air. So Miami could look to trade back, like, hey, give us a first, second, and a first next year. And Ron Rivera can get his guy that he can get a quarterback they want, either in Justin Fields or the dark horse, I believe, of this draft for QBs is Trey Lance. But if I'm Washington, I'd call up to make a pick for a quarterback, so Terry McLaurin doesn't have to. Oh man, who? Kyle Allen and Alex Smith throwing me the ball, and I gotta do more than I need to because all my other receivers are undrafted rookies. We're undrafted rookies.
Right.
I mean, I grant Sims, and the second best receiver on the team is a quarterback, which is what's his name? You know who I'm talking about. I just forget his name, but he went quarterback. Logan something.
His name's
Logan Allen, Logan Ryan.
Logan Ryan.
Yeah, he was the second best receiver, and he was a quarterback in college.
Mm-hmm.
That's the funniest thing. You got Terry McLaurin and you got Logan Ryan. Whatever. And honestly, they have him on some mocks. They have him going with receiver with Kevin Looney. But I'm Washington. I need a quarterback to help out my young star in the league, young star in the making, in Terry McLaurin.
I think they need to go with Lance.
I don't know. Lance is just kind of a dark night, really. Like last at NDSU.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not what Carson Wentz was when he was at NDSU. When Carson was at NDSU, they was running the ball. They ran the wing tee like it was nothing. But with him, when a coach has to change his offense that he's been running for years for you, oh yeah, you're that guy. And he's a winner. He is a fucking winner.
He only played one game this year.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but in previous years, they've dominated. They dominated Division II. They beat James Madison. You know, they've beaten a lot of quality teams in Division II. I know it doesn't say much against Division I, but it's just looking at him. He looks like a franchise quarterback. He's big. He's tall. He carries himself with poise. He knows how to run an offense. And him and Terry McLaurin could be problems in the NFC East. But I think what they need to do is get another receiver as well.
That's where I agree with the Looney or even the Rashard Bateman from, I think that's his name, from, that might be a reach on the receiver from Minnesota. But I think they needed another second option so Allen doesn't have to be the second best receiver on that team. Because Sims, he's good, don't get me wrong, but he's more of a slot guy, not a, hey, I'm going to be out wide kind of guy. He's more of a slot guy.
I think they need to go get Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is going to be a steal. Whoever picks up that boy,
I'm not a big fan of tight ends going in the first round. Like, let's look at the past 10 years. 2 tight ends have gone in the first round. Eric Ebron, who had a lackluster career in Detroit.
Yeah,
but wait, let's Detroit Lions. Let's make actually 3 tight ends. Let's make the same mistake we did in T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson had a much better career in Detroit than Eric Ebron, I believe. I would say, but like, come on, you got this back. You got 2 franchise drafted. Oh, we need better defensive players. There's a lot of defensive talent in the first round. This has been a team that's been literally destroyed for the first round. You drafted Nick Fairley, then you drafted Yeah, Nick Fairley's first round pick because he had three good games. Then you had Eric Ebron and then TJ Hawkinson. Like, you couldn't ask for that kind of shit.
And you know what? The TJ Hawkinson thing, I'm dead on that. Nick Fairley, I expected good, big things out of him. I expected more out of him than I could ever imagine. But he failed. But Kyle Pitts is different. Kyle Pitts has a better catch radius. Kyle Pitts gives you more range on the field. Kyle Pitts is going to be a person that, yeah, he's going to add to your run game as well. And not a lot of these tight ends want to get their hands in the dirt. You feel what I'm saying?
Kind of hard to find a tight end like Greg Kittle. It's kind of hard to find a tight end like him.
Yeah.
Third round, big guy. I'm just going to say him and O.J. Howard are probably the best blocking tight ends in the league. Travis Kelce, he's getting a lot better.
But they're not asking him to. They're not asking him to block. You know what I'm saying? They're asking him to.
I feel like Kyle Pitts is like, in terms of weight, a little undersized for a tight end position. He has that wide receiver weight at 6'6".
He's light in the ass.
Yeah, but I'm looking at his stats right now, and 4 touchdown game week 1, 3 touchdown game against Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But also Kyle Trask, who I believe is...
Ooh, he's a gunslinger.
He's going to be a good... I think he'll get the chance to start at QB, but I don't think a team was going to believe in him enough.
What makes you say that?
Take over. Last year, 2019, he had 25 TDs for 7 interceptions, 93,000 yards. But then this year he exploded. Heisman candidate, blows up, 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Has a higher efficiency rating, higher completion percentage, but also I feel like they had to dumb down the offense a little bit.
For the whole team, for the whole offense. Because when they had Muschamp there, they struggled. And he had weapons. Oh my God, his pieces. You only dream about having pieces like that, man.
So that's why, like, I feel like a team like, let's say the Colts, let's say the Lions trade to the Colts for, let's say they give up Stafford, and I don't think Fields is going to pass the Lions, honestly, in the first round. Let's say the Colts. The Colts could be a good team for someone like Kyle Trask, where you have T.Y. Hilton, you have Zach Pascal, you have Trey Burton, you have a good two-headed monster in your running backs in Hines and Taylor. You have arguably the best offensive line. You have an up-and-coming defense. I feel like that Colts would be a good place for someone like Kyle Trask.
Well, anybody that goes to the Colts is going to a preset thing that's set for them. All they got to do is make plays. The Colts have the best offensive line in the league.
Oh, easily.
I feel like
play setter. They're not looking for a scrambler. They're not looking for all of this, that, flash. They want like look at the last few quarterbacks they had Peyton Manning, pocket. Andrew Luck, I would classify more as a pocket QB, but he had that option where I can run.
Jacoby Brissett.
They didn't believe on him, but yeah, he made $28 million this year. So
hey, make your money, player.
Exactly. And people talk about black quarterbacks are the most underpaid. I'm like, yeah, they are. Then there's Jacoby Brissett, like, hey, I'm just gonna make a cool $28 million this year, and I'm gonna come in and make about 5 completed throws for $20 million.
Okay, hold on. Before we continue on that, the Colts. I'm gonna say this right now about the black quarterback. This is my opinion. So niggas that are be listening to this, don't get mad. This is just the truth. We're underpaid because we are the most risky players on the court. I'm not on the court, on the field. I'm sorry. We are liable to get hurt. Look at RG3. RG3 fucked it up for us.
He really did.
Because when he was running the ball and then he got hurt all those times, no franchise is going to pay us all this money because we are a detriment to ourselves at quarterback. We are liable to get hurt, and then what is the point of paying me $40 million? Look at Dak. What if Dak didn't get hurt in the pocket? Dak got hurt scrambling. Am I right or wrong?
Exactly.
Keep your black ass in the fucking pocket and throw the ball. And I'm scared because Lamar is due to get paid in 2 years.
Lamar, actually, he might get paid next year.
Yeah. You think so?
From what I've read on Twitter, they said like they want to lock him up to a big contract early. Now, I told you, like, I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat from this, but I don't think we care about catching heat on this show. I really don't. But Lamar, I don't think he's the option. Like, yeah, I mean, he had one good year where he ran the ball. I'll repeat that again. He had one good year where he ran the ball. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was all his other stats except for completion percentage and touchdowns, and I think one of the stats was outside the top 15 or 20. You can't say you're a good passer if you're throwing less yards and if you're in the bottom half of the starting quarterbacks.
But this is what surprises me. I did in college. I know college doesn't matter in the NFL, but in college, I didn't see him as a runner. I saw him as a thrower because he was under Bobby Petrino. And Bobby Petrino, even though he's a fuck up as a fucking coach, Lamar was slinging dick everywhere. Do you remember that? Yeah,
It's also funny that his receivers, he actually had I think he had the highest completion percentage in his draft class. But he could have had an even higher one, but his receivers had the highest, one of the, I think, top 20 highest drops in the nation that year.
Oh, see, but they blame him for that.
Exactly. They're going to blame the quarterback for the drops. If you're a receiver, it's not always your fault. If you're a receiver, it's not always your fault, okay? Granted, Mike Evans, yes, those 2 interceptions, yes, those were your fault.
If the ball hits your hands, you had a chance to catch it. I don't care how hard it's thrown at you. Your job is to do what? Catch the ball.
Look at Craig Olsen. He was catching bullets from 5 yards out.
He had one job. Catch the ball.
He had Cam Newton throwing lasers at him.
Hold on now. Hold on. I'm not going to let you disrespect Cam Newton like that because...
He's not throwing bullets? That man threw bullets.
He was throwing AKs. He was throwing some rounds, but he wasn't throwing bazookas or nothing like that. Okay, Cam did throw some low bullets. Cam's throws are hard. I can't deny that. But look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has, to me, the ugliest pass. He just looks uncomfortable. And maybe it's because the offense is not as... I know the offense is predicated on the run, but he just looks uncomfortable. And I'm not expecting Lamar to do RPOs and do what Patrick Mahomes does, but damn it, I need you to do more.
Honestly, if I was the Ravens OC, I would throw in RPOs because I think that would actually help this game a lot more versus options, where it's okay, we're just going to option run. And I think we should do more RPOs. Okay, hey, you got a fast receiver in Hollywood Brown, but I honestly don't think Hollywood Brown fits their system as much as a DK or AJ Brown would have.
No, Hollywood should have gone to either Arizona, Dallas, or even I'd say even Miami.
I honestly don't think that he fits the system well as what they're trying to do. Dez Bryant, a prime Dez Bryant would be great in Baltimore Ravens system. Look how, as people don't know that the same offense coordinator that Kaepernick had and the Niners had when they went to the
same guy.
Run is the same court. It's the same one. So you're telling me that you're finding you had Torrey Smith. That's not your Hollywood. That's not your Colin Kaepernick's Hollywood Brown. Granted, he's a little slower, but Torrey Smith was also fast in college. then you had Anquan Bolden on the other side, who's just big and beefy versus whoever the Ravens.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I feel he's basically duplicating what he did before. The only difference is he didn't utilize the Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, Humphreys, those guys the way he should have.
No.
Let them do all the running, especially when you got Edwards and Ingram. The fact they let Mark Ingram go pissed me off. He's got a lot of football left in him.
I wasn't sold if Mark Ingram he had good years with New Orleans. But I just don't feel like he's that power guy that Baltimore needed. But hey, you got J.K. Dobbins, and that man in that offense will be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to with this team. They've gotten knocked out of the second round back-to-back years. This year is going to be the year where either we're going to rival Lamar or we're going to have to get somebody else in here. They're not going to give him that many opportunities to fuck up like this in the playoffs. Especially when you've won the MVP this young in your career, you're expected to make things happen.
Like, look at Patrick Mahomes. Look, he won it early in his first year technically starting, and he basically put up near-like MVP numbers. He had a lot of yards, touchdowns were up, interceptions were more up. Then again, you're going to get more exposed as more a career you're going to longer in the game you're in. You're going to be exposed more. So Patrick Mahomes there's a reason why a player like Patrick Mahomes is worth $500 million, and a player like Lamar will probably be worth $200 million. 250 million.
250 million?
That's why I think if the Ravens are dead set on Lamar's our guy, he'll probably get Deshaun Watson or a little more, because you're not going to get Patrick Mahomes money. When I saw the final details, I was shocked about how much money they gave him. Offered, because, NFL's an incentive-based league. It's just, bro, he's not getting $510 million. He's getting $150 million injury money, I believe. But the rest is incentives.
He's well protected. Well protected. He's going to get the Andrew Luck deal, because Andrew Luck left with $32 million.
Andrew Luck was also supposed to be the next biggest thing, and then the Colts decided not to take care of him.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes got that money because he's the face of the league. There's not that many guys who are bigger than the NFL Shield. Patrick Mahomes is bigger than the Shield. Everywhere. He's everywhere.
He is the Shield.
Yeah,
he's the definition of the Shield.
And he's everywhere. Everywhere. So you know his face. So when you are the face that makes the place, they're going to have to pay you. Now, it ain't all guaranteed. Yes, he got $150 million guaranteed, but I expect him to meet every single incentive.
Oh,
yeah. He going to get paid. That boy's different. That boy is different, But, you know what? I think we've made some good progress today, brother. I'm going to have you back on here, man, because you know your shit.
Next time we'll talk about the draft.
Yes, sir. Let's do the draft next time, man.
Yep, I just sent you a link for Draft Simulator with trades.
All right, man. It's great it's great hearing from you, man. And I will see you. I'll holler at you next week, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
You will.
And that was a great conversation, y'all. Man, we got a lot done. Next week, we're going to talk about the draft. Hopefully, I know this is a very long one. We had to get it in, y'all. We had to definitely get this show in, man. I mean, Devin is smart. Devin knows his shit. Devin knows exactly what he's talking about. Great mind. Great views on the sport. So thanks. Appreciate Devin for coming on to the show. If you want to come on the show, talk about sports, talk your shit if you know what you're talking about, please, you are more than welcome to. Just holler at me and let me know what you want to talk about. We can go anywhere. We can go all over the place. We can start with top 5 such and such, and all of a sudden we end up talking about the first Super Bowl. So it can go any way, man. But I appreciate Devin coming on, and this is the end of Hear Me Out. I'm going to check you guys next week. We out. 1.